good evening and welcome to Prime Business with me, James Shen. To our very first story this evening, the Institute of Energy Security is urging market regulator, the National Petroleum Authority, to swiftly resolve the standoff in Ghana's petroleum downstream sector to prevent disruptions in fuel supply and stabilize prices. This call comes amid a heated debate over the NPA's fuel price floor policy, with some oil marketing companies, including Star Oil, pushing for its removal to allow for lower prices. Speaking to Joy Business, Senior Research and Policy Analyst at the Institute for Energy Security, Derek Emmanuel Yache, emphasized that the price floor policy is crucial for maintaining fair competition and preventing predatory pricing practices that could harm smaller OMCs and ultimately lead to higher prices.
For consumers, the regulator is the regulator. They have the authority and the power to be able to regulate the downstream. And so what needs to be done, or what poses as a risk to the consumer, is that we are talking about a huge chamber. Star Oil supplies, or let me say, it has about 10.7% of the market share. Comac as a body is now boasting around about 90% of the industry supply. And so that 10% supply that maybe Star Oil has control over, it means that is what can maybe influence. But you know what? The regulator comes out with policy that this is the rate that able to sell the that Star Oil has full right and not it that apply what the regulator will. It is said that they be pulling out of part whatever vision or whatever that is whatever benefit that Star Oil would have joined in terms of collaboration, in terms of promotion, in terms of the good role that Comac as a unified body would have had. Star Oil now will not be able to enjoy those kind of privilege. The platform that they use to have as a consensus to be able to have a bargaining power, Star Oil will not be able to enjoy such bargaining power. If there's anything that they need to do to protect their members, Star Oil will not enjoy that. And so it is not healthy for the industry. As a Ghanaian oil marketing company that is now the leader, the industry, we expect Star Oil to not take an entrenched position, but be able to engage its chamber constructively so that they'll be able to arrive at an amicable solution. That is what will help the consumer, that is what will help their brand, and that is what will help the forward march of the country.
Now, for more understanding on the fuel price floor policy and other industry concerns in the downstream petroleum sector, do make a date tonight with my colleague JoyNews as he engages the chairman of the Chamber of Oil Marketing Companies at exactly 9 p.m. on this channel. Now, away from that, highlighting the need for tailored industrial policies, President John Dramani Mahama has called for a new approach in Africa's industrial agenda. Speaking at the Davos Convening Forum under the 2026 World Economic Forum, he expressed optimism that Africa's economic freedom will depend on its ability to own and control key sectors of its economy, such as manufacturing, as well as building a united front to fight for the continent's interest.
My fellow leaders, let me speak plainly. In this fast-changing world, we're entering an era where countries must compete, innovate, and build or be left behind. Our young people are watching, they're brilliant, they're hungry, and they're running out of patience. So here's what we must focus on. First, we must invest in skills, not just education, but skills that match real jobs in the real economy. Digital skills, green energy skills, manufacturing skills. We need a generation of young Africans who can build and not just consume. Third, we must negotiate as one. When we bargain separately, we're weak. When we negotiate together on minerals, trade, and climate finance, we can be formidable. Unity should not be just a slogan, it must be our strategy. Fourth, we must produce at home, from vaccines to semiconductors to solar panels. If we don't make it, we'll always be dependent on someone who does. Industrial policy isn't old-fashioned, it is what will make us survive. And fifth, and most importantly, we must hold ourselves accountable to our people.
Now, more on the industrial and manufacturing space. The government of Ghana is actively pursuing reforms aimed at strengthening the country's industrial sector. This was revealed by the Chief of Staff, Julius Debra, during the investiture ceremony of the new president and council members of the Association of Ghana Industries. According to Mr. Debra, these reforms are part of a broader strategy to enhance industrial growth, attract investment, and create jobs for Ghanaians. He urged the private sector to collaborate with government initiatives to ensure sustainable industrial development.
The Chief of Staff at the event described the Association of Ghana Industries as a critical partner in national development and urged industry players to support government efforts at economic transformation.
This therefore brings into question the extent to which we are adding value to our raw materials and the extent of export diversification. The outcomes we expect calls for a private sector that is innovative, formalized and export-oriented, and a public sector that is responsive, predictable and accountable. Government is therefore pursuing reforms to improve the business environment, streamline regulations, expand access to finance for SMEs, and invest in critical infrastructure such as energy, transport and digital transformation as key enablers.
In his remarks, new president of the Association of Ghana Industries, pharmacist Kofi Nsiapoku, said the association will continue to engage government and relevant stakeholders to address challenges confronting the industry sector.
As we embark on this journey, one truth remains undeniable. Industry thrives on collaboration. No single institution can transform the economy alone. We must strengthen partnerships with government and government agencies, academia, financial institutions, international development partners, and most importantly, with one another. Let us choose collaboration over competition, synergy over silos, collective progress over individual gain. Ghana's industrialization is a shared national responsibility, and AGI must lead the way.
The investiture brought together key industry stakeholders and policymakers, highlighting the role of industry in Ghana's development agenda.
Now, away from that, the Ministry of Finance has announced the development of a 10-year insurance master plan aimed at strengthening the insurance sector. This plan, which is expected to be completed by the end of the year, will include reforms to address challenges such as pricing inefficiencies, low penetration rate, and other structural issues. Speaking at the investiture of the Ghana Insurance Association of Ghana new president, a coordinating director at the Ministry of Finance, Dr. Clote Collison, said the initiative is intended to position Ghana as an insurance hub in the sub-region.
The Ministry of Finance, with the support of the National Insurance Commission, has developed the insurance sector strengthening strategy, which is expected to be operationalized over the next 2 years. This strategy, developed as part of broader fiscal consolidation and economic recovery program, is expected to strengthen the institutional capacity of the sector, drive digital transformation and innovation, sanitize the market and improve regulatory reforms, as well as position the sector internationally to attract investors. Distinguished guests, to ensure the long-term sustainability of the sector, the Ministry of Finance, again in collaboration with industry stakeholders, will develop a 10-year insurance master plan this year. The insurance master plan will serve as a blueprint for policy, regulation, and institutional reforms aimed at addressing structural challenges such as low penetration, fragmented regulatory frameworks, pricing inefficiencies, and other market constraints to ensure financial inclusion, promote innovation and competitiveness, and position Ghana as a regional insurance hub. We have also taken note of the Ghana Insurance Association's call for group life insurance to be made compulsory. Government recognizes the potential of this proposal, not only to safeguard livelihoods, but also to strengthen the long-term sustainability of the insurance sector. We'll give this proposal due consideration in the review of the Insurance Act.
Now, the year-on-year producer price inflation for all goods and services was 1.9% in December 2025. This was 0.6 percentage points higher than the November 2025 producer inflation rate, but 24.2 percentage points lower than the December 2024 producer inflation rate. There is more in this report.
On a month-on-month basis, the rate between November and December 2025 was negative 0.8%. Thus, on average, producer prices for goods and services decreased by 0.8% in December compared to November 2025. According to data from the Ghana Statistical Service, mining and quarrying, the largest sector with a weight of 43.7%, recorded a 1.0 percentage point increase in producer inflation. This was from 2.3% in November 2025 to 3.3% in December 2025. On the other hand, the manufacturing sector, which makes up 35% of the producer price inflation weights, decreased from 0.5% in November 2025 to 0.1% December 2025, losing 0.4 percentage points. Also, the producer inflation in the transport and storage subsector continued to fall, declining from negative 10.2% in November 2025 to negative 3.7% in December 2025. Meanwhile, the Ghana Statistical Service has called for reduction in structural production costs by strengthening energy supply, transport infrastructure, and logistics systems.
Now, the sustainable use of natural resources and energy finance program implemented with financial support of the European Union and Agence Française de Développement officially closed, marking a significant milestone in Ghana's effort to promote sustainable finance, climate-friendly investment, and private sector-led green growth. The initiative, spearheaded by the Energy Commission, supported Ghana's move towards green energy with the construction of some energy-efficient buildings in the country. There's more in this report.
SANREF has supported the completion of about 7 projects representing a total loan portfolio of $20 million. The completed projects have achieved measurable climate and energy outcomes, including estimated annual energy savings of 7,736 megawatts per hour, among others. Speaking to journalists at the closing ceremony and tour of some buildings that benefited under the project, Coordinator Ebenezer Ashi said Ghanaian banks have been given more capacity to finance green initiatives.
In terms of green financing, I mean, the partner banks, their capacity have been built, and now they have the confidence to finance green investment currently in the country. In terms of we financing green building, that's what we are witnessing now. This is an energy efficiency building. I mean, these buildings have been ranked. In terms of the edge software, we have been able to achieve more than a minimum of 20% in terms of energy savings. I mean, they also benefit in terms of water usage as well.
Some of the funding partners have also been speaking to Joy Business about the impact created so far.
At the same time, there's an increasing competition for EU development funds, and therefore it is of incredible importance to have other actors step in. And in this particular sector, it is very fit for development institute, banks, for private sector to step in also. So what we are doing as a Team Europe effort together with France is to support the investments in clean and more efficient energy. This is what our new approach, also called Global Gateway, is all about, and this is what we are doing as a Team Europe here.
This is a clear milestone toward more efficient future in terms of energy mitigation, reduction of emissions, in terms of transforming, Ghana, SMEs, the whole energy sector. And this is a good example. We are the oil and marine building, and we can see all the question of solar panels, the question of how to be efficient, to manage it more efficiently. That's exactly what we want to achieve through this kind of financing and technical support.
As the SANREF program concludes, stakeholders emphasize the importance of building on SANREF's achievements to further scale up sustainable finance in Ghana and strengthen climate resilient investments.
Now, the Oil Palm Development Association of Ghana has issued a 2-week ultimatum to the Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority to urgently clamp down on the influx of smuggled palm oil into the country, warning that the illegal trade is undermining local production. The association says failure to act could result in members depositing rotten palm fruit at GRA offices nationwide. Here is more from a tour of local producers in the country.
The association toured several local manufacturing companies, including Avnaj Industries, Wilma, and the Ghana Oil Palm Development Company. During the visit, marketing manager Charles Otre Ado lamented that the surge in smuggled oil has discouraged farmers, forcing some to sell their farms to illegal miners in a bid to earn their fair returns for their hard work. A representative of Avnaj Industries, Manjari Kapoor, also echoed these concerns.
This smuggling market is affecting us for years. Still, our promoters have never thought down to shut down the premises. But now the situation is coming in that we are really finding ourselves hard to survive. And if we do not do the production, it's a human being that the workers get worried. Workers get worried to the extent whether their employment will be safe or it will not be safe.
President of the Oil Palm Development Association of Ghana, Paul Amenin, called on government to urgently intervene in the smuggling situation.
And today, when you go to Kede, they are even fighting GOPDs because they are not buying their fruit. The situation is becoming a national security threat. If government don't know, if this one continue, almost 1 million people will lose their job. That's what we need to think about as a nation. Those who are benefiting, we are telling them, if government doesn't do anything, this is 3 years fight. If government doesn't do anything, we are giving them 14 days. All the GRA offices within our catchment area will bring all the fruit there. Stay there until they solve this problem, because we won't allow this to continue again. We are not going to fund government to do this again because they are taking taxes, they are taking fees from us.
The association says failure to act could result in members depositing rotten palm fruits at GRA offices nationwide.
Now, for many newborn babies, the first days of their life can be very critical. At the Margaret Marquardt Hospital in Pando, 2 new phototherapy units are now improving the chances of survival for infants suffering from neonatal jaundice. The life-saving equipment was donated by the Federal Rural Bank PLC with support from the First Sky Group to strengthen neonatal care, reduce referrals, and support quality healthcare delivery in the municipality. Health professionals say the equipment will help protect newborns from preventable complications while easing pressure on the hospital's neonatal unit. Ivy Setoji has more in the following report.
For newborns battling jaundice, time is everything. At the neonatal unit of the Margaret Marquardt Hospital in Pando, the arrival of 2 new phototherapy machines is already making a difference. The donation made by Federal Rural Bank PLC in collaboration with its parent company, the First Sky Group, is expected to significantly improve neonatal survival and reduce referrals to distant hospitals.
We are very appreciative, and we know that this costs a lot of money. So for them to do this for us, we are very appreciative. So these are phototherapy machines, and they are mostly used to treat children with neonatal jaundice. In fact, just yesterday, we had to use 1 unit for 2 babies, which is not the best. It is not standard practice. So because of this, more babies are going to be helped, because we know that neonatal jaundice can cause severe brain damage. So there are people walking around not able to talk, not able to sit, not able to hear, all because of neonatal jaundice. And we are also calling on all donors and all those who are within reach to also come together and also provide more support, because we need more things like incubators, cardiac monitors, and a whole lot of things that will help the children to survive and also grow to useful adults in our society.
According to the bank, the intervention reflects its belief that businesses must go beyond profit and respond to the real needs of the communities they serve.
Our executive chairman, Mr. Eric, said Kutachop. He's actually a local person and believes in giving back to society. So this is just a gesture. We've seen the hospital. We've seen children who are born with some needs and needs to be helped. So as a local company, we feel that it is just right for us to give back to society. We can see the need in our communities is very glaring. It's starting on us. And so I call on all other companies and benevolent societies to come and collaborate with us. They should come and help. Just as we have come, other people should also come.
Ivy Satoji, Joy News, Bandu.
And that's all for Prime Business with me, James Ishen. For more stories, log on to myjoyonline.com/business. I leave you with some commodity update.